Welcome, and thank you for tuning into Wildcast. I'm Michael Hernandez.
And I'm Toby Schmidt.
Now is the time students are having feelings of homesickness kick in. But how does having the folks coming to visit sound? The University of Arizona and ASUA will be hosting its annual Family Weekend. This year's theme is It's a Wildcat World, and will include activities such as casino night, a 5K walk, and a tailgate for the football game versus Oregon State. To register for tickets, go to familyweekend.arizona.edu.
One of the biggest announcements was made this week by NASA, who are confident that there is in fact water on Mars. I had the opportunity to interview one of the scientists who was a part of the discovery and who also works here at the U of A.
Strong evidence of water on Mars, Olympic-sized pools of salty water, have been found by a group of scientists, including two from the U of A, Dr. Alfred McEwen and Matt Shinaki. They found streaks in photos of the surface of Mars that would run downhill slopes and fade in the cold and dry seasons, just as water would. 10 years ago, the U of A sent up HiRISE, the highest resolution telescope ever sent to another planetary body.
So water on Mars has been discussed in previous publications and announcements, and that is usually due to the evidence of ancient water. Here we're talking about current water on Mars that's seeping out of the surface that we can observe in images that were taken weeks ago. You have to remember that Mars has less than 1% of the Earth's atmosphere. It's drier than any of the driest places on Earth, and the water there just up until 5 years ago, we just didn't think it could ever exist on the surface.
This whole discovery began 5 years ago when Luju Iwaju, a U of A undergrad at the time, worked here as a digital terrain model specialist. His job was to take photos from HiRISE and essentially create topographical maps of Mars, the same maps we use to go hiking. While doing this, he discovered dark streaks in the photos, also known as reoccurring slope lineae, and found they might be associated with water.
You can see these dark streaks more clearly, and you can see in one image, it's kind of like a thicker dark streak, but then it splits off later on. So we see these things happening over the courses of like weeks, days, months. But something that's interesting about these is that they disappear, and then they come back at a different time of year. So this is actually the water that's seeping up. It's really cool. We get to see a lot of images that not many people have seen, and we're some of the first people to start processing all of the data.
It is really exciting. I mean, this is something that many scientists have speculated on. We have found many other sort of hints of evidence of this sort of past liquid environment on Mars. You never know what you're going to find when you're staring at the surface of Mars for 8 hours a day.
HiRISE is estimated to have fuel for about another 10 years, which is hopefully enough time for even greater discoveries about the red planet. Reporting from the University of Arizona for Wildcast, I'm Toby Schmidt.
For more information, or if you'd like to see more of those really neat photos and videos that HiRISE captures, check out their website at hirise.lpl.arizona.edu.
To discuss his take on the issues, presidential candidate Bernie Sanders will be hosting a rally in Tucson this Friday. The free rally will be at Reed Park's DeMeester Outdoor Performance Center, where doors will open at 6. The Vermont senator is the second presidential candidate and first Democratic candidate to visit southern Arizona for next year's election. Anyone interested in attending must RSVP online beforehand at berniesanders.com.
Living in the Old Pueblo has its perks, but how well do you actually know Tucson? You can find out now at the annual Tucson Meet Yourself Festival this weekend beginning October 9th in downtown Tucson. The 3-day festival aims to celebrate the diverse communities and cultures that live here and features local artisans, performances, and plenty of food. For specific times and event information, visit TucsonMeetYourself.org.
So there's plenty going on in Tucson this weekend, but if you're looking for something glowing on, you'll want to take a road trip north to the Triangle L Ranch in Oracle. Wildcast reporter Joshua Morales has the story.
Hi, welcome to the 12th annual Glow event here in Oracle, Arizona. Dancing and fire play captivated the audience as professional dancers illuminated the stage with amazing performances. The event had live music and a wall in which guests could use colored chalk to brighten up the ambiance.
The event itself started 12 years ago when Sharon invited some of her friends to come up from Tucson and from around here and install some large lit art and play some music and enjoy a party. I had my grandson and his friend here to help me tonight, but you notice they're not here. They're out having fun somewhere.
Guests listened to songs around bonfires, and porcelain angels seemed to float in the darkness of the Glow Ranch. Although the fire dancers were the main spectacle of the event, huge color-changing globes, light displays, traveling music cars, and a static neon television brought life to the theme of the event, What Makes Your Heart Glow. Guests wrote on white pieces of cloth what made them happiest and hung them with other responses on a crisscrossed iron wall. The event has sold out each weekend so far and will have 2 more showings before Halloween on October 17th and the 24th. Wear your brightest costumes and join the nighttime art experience. For information on Glow, visit www.trianglelranch.com. Covering for UATV Channel 3 from the Triangle L Ranch in Oracle, Arizona, Joshua Morales.
That looked amazing.
Yeah,
didn't it?
that looked really fun. Good time.
And great job on the Mars story.
Thanks.
How was it for you?
I learned a lot. But a fun fact, Andy Weir, the author of the new book, The Martian, which is actually turning into a movie, or it is turned into a movie. So he requested to have some of those DTMs made for the part that he wrote about in the book, which I just think is really cool that the undergraduates here got to make that for him. So that was really fun. I'm excited to see that movie.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it really put the U of A on a national spotlight this
Yeah,
week for sure.
yeah. With some expected showers this week, it seems like Tucson is finally beginning to cool down. Weather reporter Virginia Beamer will give you her complete forecast after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching UATV.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel. I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
Now, most of us question our choice of major at least once during the semester. Maybe more depending on who you are. Can I get an amen, Toby?
Yes, yes.
Now, if you're students thinking of switching majors, declaring another, or those still undecided, are encouraged to attend the Meet Your Major Fair this Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Student Union Grand Ballroom. Advisors in different majors across campus will be available to answer any to answer any questions that you might have.
Art lovers in the mood for something linear can view the works of Ryan Napier, a Master of Fine Arts candidate whose exhibit, Billions, is currently on display at the Lionel Rombach Gallery in the School of Art. Wildcast reporter Hunter Sampson interviewed Napier about his inspiration behind the drawings.
Well, visually, these lines I've been doing for about 10 years. They started without really a whole lot of significance, and the significance came later. The shakiness of the line came from, well, my hands are a little bit shaky, and that's because of some medicine that I've been on for the past 12 years now, and that's one of the side effects. So that's where the physical nature of it comes from, and then the meaning behind it has kind of evolved over the past years, kind of spin off of my regular paintings, and it deals with inequalities between people and how our shortcomings are really kind of they're kind of the same, even though we point out other people's, and even though other people seem to have worse problems or issues than we do, or than I do, I feel like my issues or my problems are the same in a sense. So that's what the lines represent, is all these differences.
Virginia, we're so happy to see you again. Can we expect a cool down from Mother Nature this week?
You know, it is great to be back, and this entire week has been a whirlwind, really. And yeah, we are expected to see a little bit of cool down this week. Today, we actually saw a nice cool down. 85 degrees was the high outside today. And even though in the forecast we were expecting some thunderstorms, the system that was going to bring us that initially moved a little bit more east than we expected. But we did still have partly cloudy conditions outside and gusts of wind up to 34 miles per hour here in the Tucson area. Now, if we look at our almanac, we can actually see what that low system actually brought to us here in Tucson. So our high today was 85 degrees outside, our average 89 degrees outside, so we were a little bit below average for this time of year, and that cloud cover actually helped keep our low above our average of 62 degrees here in Tucson. And we did see trace amounts of precipitation today, about 1/100 of an inch outside or out at the Tucson International Airport. Now, as we move in tonight, those clouds are going to stick around, and we're actually going to see more average temperatures for our nighttime low, so 63 degrees outside tonight, partly cloudy conditions. And as we move later into the week, we're actually going to see things cool down into tomorrow. 81 degrees is our high, so three less than we saw yesterday, and mostly cloudy and windy. Now, we are expecting those thunderstorms to kick in mainly tomorrow, maybe overnight tonight. We'll see what really happens, but it's definitely going to be windy tomorrow and into Wednesday. So if we take a look at our 5-day forecast, you can see what I'm talking about. So things are going to cool down to 78 degrees outside tomorrow with 60 degrees as the low, and then things are going to start to rise back up as we get into the weekend. So we'll be at 87 degrees by Saturday, just in time for that Oregon game, right?
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the weather. I really hope it doesn't rain for family weekend, though.
Me too, yeah. I just want fall. And I think everyone here in Tucson can definitely agree with that, especially for that Oregon game this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, after the week before last nationally televised football game against UCLA, the Wildcats had their bear down turn into a beat down. Were they able to regroup on the road against Stanford? We'll have the highlights for you coming up.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hawk. Get Hawk with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Toby Schmidt.
And I'm Michael Hernandez.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Sarina Nafarrate. And I'm Danielle Karp.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Jackie Kent. Welcome to Wildcast.
Welcome.
And welcome.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcast.
Camera one.
You may notice a change at the next Arizona home football game. The pregame warm-up will no longer include the Kamate, the traditional New Zealand tribal chant. Polynesian players who wish to share their culture with the team introduced the haka in 2009. Cal State Northridge professor and New Zealand native Christina Campbell created a Change.org petition calling for the haka's ban, claiming it was poorly done and lacked its cultural significance. Arizona Athletics issued a statement saying, quote, "Even though that intent remains the same today, we've been made aware that a segment of the population is unhappy that the haka is being performed. As a result, we have decided to discontinue the activity." Danielle Fork is here for your weekly update on Arizona football, volleyball, and soccer. Danielle?
14th ranked Arizona Volleyball defeated California Golden Bears in 4 sets on Friday night in the McHale Center. They lost the first set, but then came back and won 3 consecutive sets to earn the win. The Wildcats were led once again by Kalei Mao, who finished with 19 kills. Hallie Amaro followed with a season-high 14 kills, and middle hitter Mackenzie Jacobson had a season-high of 12 kills. The Wildcats hit the road for their next 4 matches. Arizona starts in Washington on Wednesday before heading to Corvallis on Friday to take on Washington State. On Friday, Arizona women's soccer beat California 1-0. Hannah Stevens scored the game-winning goal in the 71st minute of the game. Goalkeeper Rachel Estopar finished the night with a total of 8 saves, earning her a career high for herself and a season high for all Arizona goalkeepers. Wildcat Soccer also welcomed Stanford on Sunday for a tough match. After 103 minutes of play, Stanford scored, winning 3-2 over the Wildcats. Jordan DeGrassi and Gabby Stolian both scored for the Wildcats. Women's soccer heads to California this weekend to take on UCLA and USC. Arizona football fell to Stanford 55-17 on Saturday. Gerard Randall had his first career start as quarterback for Anu Solomon, who was out with a concussion. Johnny Jackson and Nick Wilson scored one touchdown each for the Wildcats, and Jamar Alla led the team with 11 tackles. Arizona football is back in action this Saturday at home against Oregon State. Arizona women's tennis held the Wildcat Invitational at the El Conquistador Country Club this past weekend. They finished with an overall record of 6-2 and an impressive singles record of 5-2. Number 43, Lauren Marker, will be making her fall season debut later this week in the Riviera All-American Championships. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Danielle, and thanks to all of you for watching our show this week. You can watch us anytime online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATV CH3.
Thank you. And excuse me. And you can always check us out online, like our Facebook page. And, Toby will be here. I'll be here. Virginia will be here. Danielle will be here. The whole squad is going to be here.
We're always here.
Exactly. For next week, for another edition of Wildcast. Have a good night.